I don't know either. Good morning, market snipers. Wow. StreamYard changed their countdown song. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. But that was a countdown. Just kind of a joke because we've been counting down anyways, but good to get it on. Checking the mic. See, microphone is on. So not going to go 30 minutes or what was it, 24 minutes or 25 minutes when went on a rant for 24 minutes, a ramble, a rant. And I looked up and there was like 54 comments or something like that, 56 comments. And everyone was letting me know that the mic was off. So classic Jesse. Usually the mic would be off for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. But never 24 minutes. But that was a record. Didn't care, circled back a little bit on what I talked about, and then we just kept going. Can't let it phase you. Can't let it throw you off too far. Just gotta laugh at it. It's life. Life in the fast lane. Life live streaming because none of this is scripted. I don't even have an outline besides what's going on the watch list and what's on my mind at the time. And so yeah, none of it's edited. So yeah, things like that's gonna happen. Woo! I'm not sure, buddy. I'm not sure. Cool. Cool. Well, I set it for 9:15, so I don't know. I was talking about doing a live stream at like 8:15 my time, Pacific Standard Time, and then I forgot to set it up, and then it was like kind of late, so I was like, well, I guess I'll set it for 9:15. BTC to 0. Yeah, probably not. It's always somewhere in the middle, right? You got the narratives, you got the perma bulls talking about $1 million Bitcoin, same as 2021. And then you got the perma bears talking about Bitcoin going to 0. And the reality is it's probably somewhere in between, right? Especially, everyone wanted these institutions to come in, right? Well, you've got them. Be careful what you wish for. Even like 2020, 2021, I was talking about, are you sure you really want the institutions to come in? Because I came from options trading before I got into trading Bitcoin with 10x leverage back in 2020, 2021. And options trading is probably the most manipulated market, right? And the big players are over there. Big players are in Forex. Are you sure you want it to come over to Bitcoin, right? But they created paper Bitcoin back in 2017, the end of it, with Bitcoin futures, and they already had gold futures and all that stuff. And so once there's leverage in the system, they can manipulate it. They can suppress price so it never goes to 1 million, or it takes years or decades to get there. And they've built and the positive is that the institutions have built on top of it. So they're not going to, I don't think they're going to let it go to 0 either. But it's somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere in between. Not $1 million Bitcoin, maybe one day, and not 0 Bitcoin. So there's a lot of time, resources, and money that's been invested on top of Bitcoin. So, probably won't see it go to 0. In my personal opinion, obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only. Hopefully, we have a little bit of entertainment along the way, like making fun of me a little bit. I don't know what my prediction was, but lower time frames started off bearish. The higher time frames are flipping bearish. So I'm just really reading what the charts are saying. Not really a prediction, but I I guess if there's one prediction was that, comparing it more of a thesis, right? More of a thesis. Comparing MicroStrategy to Bitcoin, right? Talked about how MicroStrategy could be leading the way to the upside when Bitcoin was at $65,000. And sure enough, Bitcoin pumped all the way up to $109,000 and made a new all time high. And, you know, after MicroStrategy did, right? And then MicroStrategy had a reversal candle, much like Bitcoin, but had already hit 3 targets to the downside. Now it's hit 4 targets to the downside, not once, but twice, and filled the gap, right? And filled the gap. So the thesis is like Bitcoin lagging time wise, and is Bitcoin going to catch up and hit some additional targets to the downside, similar to MicroStrategy? Will it fill the CME gap at 70? Was it 77,900 ish? Similar to MicroStrategy, right? So the higher time frames are flipping bearish. So it seems like uh, it will, but it's never a guarantee. And I wouldn't say it's my prediction, right? So, choice of words, I guess. Yeah. Cool. This is a Bitcoin chart. So we'll cover Bitcoin, we'll cover altcoins, and we'll cover the indices like NASDAQ, SP 500, Dow Jones. A lot of them had sell signals on Friday and Thursday on the daily chart. Uh, and there's a lot of similarities to 2021. Again, right? There's, for example, on Bitcoin, there's bearish divergence. There is a weekly MACD bearish crossover. There's a weekly RSI sell signal. um, and same with the NASDAQ, same with SP 500. So a lot of similarities. And the Russell 2000 and Bitcoin started its correction first in November 2021 versus the NASDAQ and SP 500. So there's still a lot of similarities, not exactly the same, obviously. That would be way too easy, right? The market bosses wouldn't let us have that kind of a gift, but they keep giving us a gift that keeps giving. And I posted that, I think, a couple days ago. There's regular bearish divergence at the top, and there's regular bullish divergence at the bottom. And hopefully, the market bosses continue to give us those clues on Bitcoin, some of the altcoins, indices, stuff like that, right? So hopefully we keep getting the gift that keeps giving. So I know there's a lot of naysayers about regular bullish and bearish divergence, not to name any name, Cheds. But it's also, if you've taken a deep dive on regular divergence, then there's a couple things that you'll figure out. So and some of those things you can't figure out by reading a textbook, right? So a lot of responses are, well, it's not in the textbook. It's not in the, well, okay. Well, what if the textbook, who was created by someone a long time ago, uh, didn't figure something out, right? So um, I never read divergences in a textbook. I've seen like the charts and stuff like that. And but for me studying an obsessive amount of time on divergences and RSI and stuff like that, I can tell you that a couple things that I figured out, you can't find in a textbook. So if you're only going by textbook, you're not going to see what I've seen. So, anyways, I'm not going to go down the deep rabbit hole on that for a live stream. We're going to just cover the charts. But you could take a deeper dive. I do talk about it on the recorded coaching, and everything that I've ever seen on divergences that you can't read in a textbook, I talk about on the recorded coaching and take a deeper dive for like more than an hour. I think it's at least an hour. So if you want to go over there, you can. If not, no biggie. It's up to you if you want to take deep dives or not, or you want to keep following the herd and the perma bulls or the perma bears, and then, you know, instead of figuring out how to read the charts yourself and make your own decisions and control your own destiny, right? So that's the two choices you have. One, follow what someone else does, which I don't recommend, or two, study the charts. Uh, Study the charts from someone who's studied the charts obsessively and continues to do so because I love it. Always constantly learning. I don't think I'll ever feel like I've figured everything out. I always feel like I can learn more. And so I'm constantly studying the charts and seeing, and I'll never be 100% accurate. I know that. Uh, but the probabilities continue to increase over time as an asset continues to roll over. It takes time to play out because the higher time frames were bullish, right? So it takes time for it to play out. Even if you go back to like April 2021, that whole topping pattern was like 12 weeks, right? And then price dropped 52% before making another run, right? So dropped 52%. And I was there for it to the downside after the lower high was put in May. And then at 32,300, I took a Bitcoin leveraged long after regular bullish divergence, right? There is regular bearish divergence at like all of 2021, early 2021, like quarter one of 2021, heading into April. And then there was a lower high. And then that bearish divergence got cleared with the 52% drop, followed by bullish divergence at 32,300. I took that breakout. And then I took another long at 44,000 with 10x leverage and closed out that position at 61,000. So that's the recap. And then November 2021 also had bearish divergence, regular bearish divergence. And then end of 2022 also had regular bullish divergence. And it goes on and on. And now we had regular bearish divergence again, right? This is a 2-day chart. So you even have bearish divergence here, followed by a reverse candle. And this looks like a lower high, not confirmed yet, not confirmed, but it does look like a lower high compared to over here on the 2-day chart. Daily chart, it's a slightly lower high here compared to here, slightly lower high, not confirmed until you take out this pivot point here at 92,500 ish. But once price takes that out, then it's confirmed, right? But we know what's going to happen to the perma bulls and the price action guys who only follow price, right? If you only follow price, you're not going to spot divergences. You're not going to take deep dives on divergences. And what we know is that divergence usually catches up to, price usually catches up to divergences. And once it's cleared, the price and the support guys will just keep picking the next support lower and lower and lower and lower, right? So that's all you hear from them is that up here, well, there's support, okay? Then there's support, then there's support, then there's support. Well, it's still holding support. Well, if price is down here, they'll just keep saying, well, price is holding support, price is holding support, bottom is in, right? Just like this bottom was in, just like this bottom was in, just like these bottoms were in, just like this bottom was in, right? All the way down, right? All the way down. So we'll see what happens. We don't have a magic crystal ball. I'm just letting you know what I see on my timeline over and over again with people posting bottoms are in or support or just price action guys, right? So the trend has been broken, right? This is an uptrend and you break that trend. Even the trending dots broke that trend, right? The trend is just sideways as of right now, but the indicators are trending downward, right? So price hasn't taken out this pivot down over here yet, but I think it's just a matter of time. We don't know for sure, but I think it's just a matter of time. And it is trending that way, in my own personal opinion. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Target 1 has been hit so far. And if you look at MicroStrategy, we put this post out a long time ago when there was a reversal candle on MicroStrategy up here. Not only a reversal candle on the indicator, but there was a bearish engulfing candle as well. We posted about it. We talked about it. We said the top could be in. We didn't know for sure. And in hindsight, we will find out if it was the top or not. There was multiple reasons why it could be. When we had the reversal candle, when we had the bearish engulfing reversal candle. But when I'm specifically talking about a reversal candle, I'm talking about the indicator itself, right? So you got a reversal candle, got a bearish engulfing candle, and that's when we did the side-by-side comparison with Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin had a reverse candle. And so far, MicroStrategy has hit not only 3 out of 4 targets, but then it hit 4 out of 4 targets, partially filled the gap, bounce, took some time to play out, and then today it completely filled the gap over here. Completely filled the gap. And now if we get candle closes below this 4th target box, then see arrow down, right? Then see arrow down. So if we don't find support here on MicroStrategy, right, the 4th target, and we see candle closes below the 4th target, then the probabilities are going to increase that we're going to go lower and possibly retest the 200-week moving average. And I think very, very many people will be surprised if we see prices below $120, right? Many people. And it was a possibility up here when prices all the way up here and then closed above $400. It was possible. So we'll see what happens. Expect bounces along the way. It's not just a reverse candle and straight down, right? Sometimes, but usually not. So usually not. What's more likely is price comes down, bounces, price bounces, and then starts to sell off, right? And then bounces and continues to create higher lows and lower lows, right? So that's a more likely scenario of continuing to put in lower highs and lower lows over time, not just because of the daily chart, right? Not because the daily chart, but if you look at the weekly chart as well, it's well below the trailing dots and probably going to see a sell signal in the near future. We had an RSI sell signal at the end of December. We had a bearish MACD crossover in the end of January. And we've now seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 consecutive, not consecutive, 1, 2, 6 out of the last 8 weekly candle closes below the trending dots. So it's trending that way, right? It's trending that way. And it's not trending higher, right? And you can even see the histogram on the weekly chart. Oh, I guess I already had it. The histogram was already decreasing before the MACD bearish crossover. So you've got even divergence on the MACD weekly chart. The histogram is decreasing. And then once it flips red and the crossover happens, right, all the way back here at the end of January, now prices currently, well, it was down 17% since that crossover. So it's a lagging indicator. Pretty much any indicator on the weekly chart or higher, I mean, the 5-day chart is lagging in my opinion. So you got the weekly chart, 2-week chart, monthly chart. Those are all lagging indicators, right? So no matter what indicator you use, it's lagging on a higher time frame. Pointing out bearish divergence on MicroStrategy weekly chart, right? So after the lower high, it seems like a higher probability. Whenever that happens, we don't know when. It seems like we're going to see prices below $200, right? It seems like it. seems like we're going to see, if we're over here, right? Below 180, right? Probably below 180. And then who knows if we come all the way down below $100. The 200-week moving average is currently at about $90 roughly. It is a slow moving average, so maybe it's up to $100 by the time it retests it. But it seems like it's heading in that direction. And so not just the daily chart, we're looking at higher time frames. But like I said, it could take time to play out. Could take a lot longer than this. We don't know. We don't know, right? We don't know. Maybe it takes that long, right? I don't know. All the way to June? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it takes all of 2025. I don't have a magic crystal ball. Sorry. Otherwise, we'd all be billionaires, right? Yeah, I'll cover it for you. Thank you. Yep. Ooh, yeah. Probably similar to all my other thoughts. We can look at it for you. If you had to pick one, what would it be? Because we're going to look at HODL, HODL. It's a Bitcoin. No, that's not a Bitcoin miner. That's a Bitcoin ATF. We can look at like, I could show you like 8 Bitcoin miners. They're all down, right? So, yeah, if you're down on both of them, I can look at those for you. Sure. You got it. That's why I'm a swing trader. I'm not a narrative guy. I'm a swing trader. Oh, I hate that feeling. I remember those feelings. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, so that's MicroStrategy, but could be leading the way to the downside. If MicroStrategy is leading to the downside, just like it was to the upside, then we could see price come down, hit target 2. Then we could see, however long it takes out, price come down, hit target 3, however long it takes. And then we could see price come all the way down, hit target 4. The CME gap is about 77,900 on Bitcoin futures. So that would probably be somewhere around there, right? So there's a lot of confluence with target 3. So that's the CME gap right around there. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, as time goes on, someone asked me what is my confidence level. As the higher time frames flip bearish, the higher my confidence gets, right? So it's getting more and more confident. I'm getting more and more confident. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I haven't live streamed since last Monday, I think. Yeah. So as the higher time frames are flipping bearish, right? The more confidence you build with the trend is already reversed, right? It's already reversed. But when you've got top wicks over here and you got top wicks and you're not as confident, right? You're not as confident, but it's always a hindsight game. I was at least calling a possible local top. We won't know if it's the top until in hindsight, right? And then it's so obvious. So you just got to consider it a local top. And if the dip keeps dipping, then in hindsight, it will be the top, right? So I'm not concerned about if it's the top or if it's a local top because my strategy is the same. Swing trade it, right? Swing trade it. So my strategy is exactly the same, whether it's a local top or it's the top, it doesn't matter to me. In hindsight, it'll be like, well, the local top was the top. So there you go. There's a lot of reasons why it could be the top, but we won't know for certain. And if you're saying you do know for certain, you probably guessed a lot in the past, and you probably were wrong a lot in the past. And if you're saying it's not the top, you're also guessing, and you've probably also been wrong a lot in the past as well. So, when you're dealing with real money and you're trading with real money, and you're not trading with a paper account or trading with $10, right? just to get uh, affiliate money, just to get clicks, just to get more followers, stuff like that. If you're actually trading with real money, then you have to stay neutral, and you have to read the charts as they are, not how you want them to see. And I talked about this a lot in 2022. I felt like I was late to the party, to the downside, when I closed my leverage long position at 61,000. I left a lot of money on the table, and a lot, right? It was still a six-figure win, but I left a lot on the table, and so yes, I hit my goal of the top minus 10 to 13%, but I felt like I was late. So I wouldn't let myself short Bitcoin. So I shorted Ethereum at 4,384. And my automatically take profit was at 2,500, and it went to like 23 something. Um, so that was the top 5 trade of all time for me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay. Yeah, for sure. BT probably too. Yep. Okay. This is probably the dumbest comment I've ever seen. Good one. Good one. Yeah, it's too early to say I've been cooked, little buddy. There you go. All good. We'll see how we do on time and energy. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, you got it. 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 Actually, for 45, my hairline is good. My hairline is good. Oof. My hairline is good for 45. For 45, I do have a couple gray hairs though. I do have a couple gray hairs. So there's that. It's part of the aging process. But I was asked last night by they left, but my wife's sister and husband were in town visiting and hanging out with the baby and stuff like that. Oh no, I'm not gonna chart anything for you. No way. You don't talk smack and ask for a chart request. So nope, you're done. Nope. 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 But she asked me, "Do you do Botox?" I'm like, "No." Pure genetics. Pure genetics. 45 years old. No, I don't do Botox. But that was the wife's sister. Uh, her husband's 43, and I'm no comment. But she asked if I did Botox. She's 36, and I'm like, no, I don't do Botox. No, all natural, baby, all natural. Nope. Oh, all right, there you go. All right, I'll do Telcoin for you, Squeeze. I forgot. All right, good thing you reminded me. Oh, there you go. All right, cool. All right, let's get back to it. Let's do the charts. Yeah, so it's still, if you're a permabull, it's trending in the wrong direction. So, not trying to convince you. And my job is not to try to convince you. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I don't care if you listen or not. I'm just telling you what I see on the charts. So, on the charts, it's rolling over, even on higher time frames, and it takes time, right? Before this almost 33% drop, it took weeks for a 30% plus drop, right? Even here, you don't have to go too far backwards to find out it took 21 weeks for a 33% drop. We haven't had a 33% drop yet, right? 18% so far. So 33% drop hits all 4 of my targets. So 33%. If you look at this drop over here, from here to here, before it bounced and went into a bear market, 52% drop. Here, this took 11 weeks. I guess that one didn't take as long, but 11 weeks to go 52%, right? And on this one, from here to here, another 10 weeks. So 10 weeks, 11 weeks to go 52%. And from this wick, the highest wick is what we're going to look at. We are in week 5, right? We are in week 5. So it's way too early to call that I'm on the wrong side. That I'm on the wrong side. Yeah, don't spam. Otherwise, this will probably be your last live stream. Don't spam. This will probably be your last live stream if you keep spamming. We're just trying to read the charts. I don't care if you think it's TA or not. You don't have to follow on the live stream. You can just jump off the live stream. You can just drop off the live stream. We don't care. Beat it. Beat it. So don't make me write. I don't need to write. I can remember. I've seen you post many times. But yeah, don't spam the live stream. Otherwise, you could get blocked. It might be your last live stream. So if you want to see that I'm wrong, don't block yourself. If you want to throw it in my face later on, cool. I'm not 100% accurate. But so to get back to it, if it's going to be a 33% correction, it took 20 something weeks for that to happen. And if it's the top or another top, it took 10 and 11 weeks for it to drop 52%. It just started week 5, right? So it just started week 5 from up here. This is just the 5th week. It takes time to play out. You need patience. If you want to take a shot at the sniper, you better not miss, and you better be patient to see if it plays out or not, because you're going to look silly. You're going to look silly. Could it reverse back around? Sure. But the probability has been stacking up more and more. So it is what it is. There's been many people in the past who've taken shots at the sniper, and they just find out that they've been wrong, and then they disappear, right? Then they disappear. They never come back and say, "You're right, I was wrong." They just disappear and they go troll somebody else, right? That's just the way they do. Reply guys. That's the way it is. It's okay. I've got thick skin. And if you're rude about it, then you just get blocked. So it's no big deal. Ain't no thing. We just keep moving on. Ain't no thing. There you go. All right. Fair enough. So stick around then. Stick around, because you'll be in hindsight, and I'll repost. I'll repost you. And I'll make sure to remind you that I was right. So stick around. Stick around. So be respectful. Don't get blocked. Don't get blocked. Stick around. Stick around. We need you. We need you. We need you. We like reply guys. We just want respectful reply guys. So there we go. There we go. No Botox. No Botox. I got carded. I bought wine for my wife doesn't drink. I don't drink wine. I'll have a beer here and there, but I get dehydrated. It's not like in my 20s, right? Not like in my 20s. But I bought wine for my wife's sister, and because she likes wine, and I got carded. I was like, "Are you sure?" I'm 45. Are you sure? Do I have to pull it out? He's like, "I need your ID." I'm like, "Okay, fine, fine, whatever, Target." Got carded. Wife's sister asked if I do Botox. No, I don't do Botox. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, let's look at some of the altcoins. So, not much has changed. This is the 2-day chart. There's even a reverse candle on the 2-day chart. Looks like a lower high over here. Not confirmed yet. Not confirmed yet. So, you got the highest 2-day candle close over here. You got the lowest 2-day candle close over here. So, you could say that it hasn't broken down yet, and you'd be right. But it's trending that way. So it's just a matter of time. It's going to, the most likely, not guaranteed, but most likely you start getting candle closes below here, and that will confirm the lower high, in my opinion. Many people will argue with that. That's fine. That's up to you. You can decide how you interpret a chart any way you want. I'm just letting you know how I'm seeing the chart is that you start getting candle closes below here, especially on the 2-day chart, then that's going to confirm this lower high, in my own personal opinion, by taking out this pivot point over here. So it's not confirmed yet. But if you're waiting for that to happen, you're really late. You're really late because you're already down 16%. And that's not my goal. The goal is the top minus 5 to 8%. I don't expect ever to catch the very top wick because you'll guess here, you're going to guess here, you're going to guess here, you're going to guess, right? So my goal is not to catch the top wick, nor is it to catch the bottom wick over here, over here, over here, or over here. That's not my strategy, right? It's not my strategy. It's the top minus 5 to 8%. So if you catch the top minus 5 to 8%, see 5% is about 104, 7%, 101, right? 8%, it's already below that. It's at 100,600, right? So the top minus 5 to 8%. So you got a high, you got a sneaky lower high, and then you had another lower high here at 104.6 and a sell signal over here at 100,600, right? So right around that 8%, the top minus 8%. There you go. We'll see what happens. Also, it's kind of taking out this pivot over here. So if you get a candle close below over here as well, it would take out this pivot point. It would take out this pivot point over here as well. So see it how you want to see it. It's up to you. But it's going to hit this support until it's no longer support, right? So the daily chart is more down here, though. That's Bitcoin. All right, what else? Ethereum could catch a bounce, but not yet, right? The arrow's out here for a reason. Have not had a candle close above, so you had a buy signal. Expect bounces along the way. Those bounces are meant to be sold off. This bounce is meant to be sold off. This bounce is meant to be sold off, right? So usually there's bullish divergence at the bottom, not always. So there's no bullish divergence over here yet, meaning that there would be lower prices while the indicators are picking up higher lows and prices making a lower low. That is divergence. And we don't have any divergence on Ethereum yet, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'll go. This is the fifth target box that I end up drawing later on. This is a 4 target box that I drew out a while, all the way back up here. I drew out 4 target boxes, added a fifth. It's trending that way. Cardano's breaking back down, right? Back below the 200. A lot of investors would consider that bearish. So we'll see. Thank you, Luis. You got it. You got squeeze. You can go back to past live streams and past charts. I've talked about it. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Cardano back below the 200-week moving average. I think this is target 5, right? So hit 4 out of 4 targets, added a fifth, hit the 5th target, it's trending back down. H bar has hit 4 out of 4 targets so far. I don't remember what I'm pointing out there. Added a fifth target, XRP. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you that. Just get the indicator yourself. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, if you did the recorded coaching, you'd figure it out. You would figure it out if you did the recorded coaching. But that would require you to do a deep dive, and that would require you to invest time and money to do something like that. XRP, right? Breaking back down, could be a lower high. MACD bearish cross pending again. XLM, XCN, all breaking back down. Rarible. Yep. But I coded it into the indicator to help out visually, right? It was never the indicator was never meant to be a buy and sell indicator by itself, right? It was just to help. There was a lot of questions on. I used to do live coaching, right? I used to do live coaching just for like 7 people, the Magnificent Seven, right? And I recorded all those sessions. So all the recorded coaching session were live coaching. They asked a million questions, and they asked a lot of great questions. They were a smart crew, very smart crew. We had dentists, we had young hotshots from Switzerland, we had successful retired, we had engineering, like coding engineer, all that stuff. So we had the Magnificent Seven, pretty smart crew. They asked a lot of great questions. So I thought if I coded some of the strategy into the indicator, then that would help them out visually, right? And so that's where it's at. So I couldn't put the entire strategy into the indicator, but a lot of it is there. So it was the buy and sells were never meant just to be by itself. Although on higher time frames, it'd probably do better than most, right? It'd probably do better than most, even on higher time frames. If you're looking at, buying back here in January at $20,000 on the weekly chart, I bought at 16,800 based off the daily chart. But probably better than most, right? And if you look, there's bullish divergence back here in 2022 that I was calling out before I even had an indicator, but it's coded in now. Starting to get oversold back here, can remain oversold. And then another buy signal over here, getting overbought, can remain overbought, so on and so on. So, when it's getting overbought and starting to roll over, right, probably do better than most, even though it was never meant to be a strategy by itself, ever. Where was I? Sand continues to break down. This is target 4. I don't know. I don't know where the arrow goes. It's down. It's just there was starting to be bullish divergence. There could be bullish divergence, but a higher low is a higher probability. Mana, they're all starting to look similar. Chainlink, Sol. I posted this earlier today. It's starting to get oversold on the daily chart, but the weekly chart has room to the downside. And the weekly chart just hit target 3. So there's 3 targets. 1 remains. Could go lower than that. I could add a 5th target possibly. Not as high of a probability. Expect bounces along the way. You can see that there's other pivot points, right? There's not really a lower high on the weekly chart. So if it's getting oversold on the daily chart, you could probably see like a lower high at least before coming down lower. And you can see the trending dots, right? So it could probably get, choppy and maybe kind of establish a lower high or whatever's going to do, and then continue lower. And if it does do all that, that's a lot, right? It's a lot of speculation, right? A lot of speculation. But if it does do something similar to that and creates like a right shoulder of some sort, right? Then you'd be looking at, you know, most likely price coming down and at least hitting target 4, maybe a target 5 down here. So to say that the bottom is in, I wouldn't say the bottom is in, right? I would say that temporarily, like based off the daily chart, the bottom could be in and maybe it catches a bounce and like creates like this right shoulder, like I just mentioned. But however it plays out, I don't know. I don't have a magic crystal ball, but maybe something like that. Uh, that would not surprise me whatsoever, right? And of course, the bounce could be higher, right? We don't know. Could bounce back up here, right? However it plays out and then comes back down. But regardless, it's a weekly chart, so it would take time to play out. I'm not expecting it to happen tomorrow, but it is bearish and it is ultra bearish on the daily chart right now, aka oversold, right? AKA oversold. So we don't know. Near was oversold. Now it's coming. It's been going pretty much sideways on near, but still bearish as of right now. Dot. I was kind of playing around with this the other day. That's probably something that I could do where like it looks like it could be a possible breakout. And this is just a past dot fractal, right? So it just could take some time to play out. Maybe it puts in like bullish divergence. I was just kind of playing around with the charts. Maybe there's like bullish divergence that takes like 3 months to play out and then finally has a legitimate breakout or not a legitimate, a significant breakout to the upside where it actually hits multiple targets. It could take a while, right? It could go through a bottoming phase. Could take a while before you see a significant bounce on dot. Fetch continues to be bearish. Similar thoughts to dot, right? So however it plays out, we don't know. Could take time. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go over the minors. A lot of SUI requests. Okay. Hut getting oversold. Breaking news. Another gap was just filled over here. It's getting oversold, but it can remain that way. Another gap was filled. Filling gaps. Boom. Hit all those targets to the upside. Now it's hitting targets to the downside. Doesn't matter. Up or down, we'll hit targets. Just missed this longer term target. Never hit that target. Never did. Filling gaps back below the 200-week moving average. Not great, right? Bitfarm continues. Excuse me. Look at the hiccups. Now I'm like my 8-month-old daughter. She just turned 8 months today. Woo! She's crawling. She's clucking. She's going like. She's trying to say mama and dada, but in our mind she's saying it, but she's not saying it yet. No way. She did say, "Daddy, you are the greatest of all time," earlier today, but my wife doesn't believe it. She climbed 7 steps for the nanny. The highest that was end of last week. The highest I've gotten her to climb is 5 steps. Previous record was 4 steps. The nanny, I wasn't there to witness it, but the nanny claims that she did 7 steps and I only got her to do 5 steps yesterday. So the nanny is winning. The baby climbed 5 steps. We don't even have a baby gate yet, but we keep an eye on her. So we're gonna have to get a baby gate. What else? Oh, she pulls herself up on the couch, no problem, standing up, and then she hot dogs and takes one hand off, and then in mid air she switches hands and switches back and then tries to wave. So she's hot dogging. 8 steps coming soon. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can get her to do the 8 steps and beat the nanny's record. I'm only at 5. I got her to do 5 yesterday, but I think I need to, in fairness, no, not in fairness. The nanny didn't have any motivation. When I did the 5 steps, I used my wife as motivation for her to climb. I put her at the top of the stairs. Uh, the nanny didn't have the wife, so the nanny's winning. She's winning. What else? What else? 8 months old, climbing stairs. I mean, you got to be there as like a safety belt. She's not going to just climb up and climb. She's not climbing down the stairs, right? Put it that way. She only can do one way right now. Um, she's learning how to, after she climbs, like stands up and holds onto the couch. She is learning how to like slowly drop, and then she drops to her diaper butt. So there's a little cushion there because of the diaper. Bitfarm getting oversold on Marathon Digital, all the way back down, round trip, right? What a nice pump that was, and all the way back down. CLSK, all the way back down, filling gaps. That was a tiny gap, but filled that gap and then some. Back below the 200. I don't make the rules. I wish they would have gone to the moon. They didn't. If you're buying, don't forget to hit that sell button, right? If you're buying, don't forget to hit the sell button, whatever it is. Don't forget to take that profit when it's getting overbought and there's reverse candles and there's bearish divergence, right? I mean, it's all there. What do you need, right? Need bearish divergence? Check, right? Need RSI sell signals? Check. Need reversal candles? Check. Need a lower high before you confirm a reversal, right? Check. Lower high. So it's all there for you. You just have to determine what your strategy is for taking profit, and are you going to take profit? If you're taking buy signals and you see bearish divergence followed by a lower high followed by a sell signal, at what point do you close your position in profit, right? Hopefully in profit. At what point, right? And if you take this swing down here and you're wrong, right? Then you probably got gap down on over here, right? So, woo-wee. We gonna make it, hopefully. Cypher breaking back down. Nice pump up. Overbought. Reverse the candle. Sneaky lower high, right? Breaking back down. Riot, similar thoughts. This is a gap. Gap just got filled, right? Gap fill. Gap fill. Another one. Not really any gaps below. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. Hive. Woo. The triangle. The Bermuda Triangle. Ooh, where assets go to die. Getting oversold all the way back down to these lows. August 2024, May 2024, March 2023, November 2022, November 2020. Oh man. Ouch. And my GI just dying. MicroStrategy back below the yellow line. Someone asked about TDoc. Let's see. The higher time frames are flipping bullish, though. The higher time frames are flipping bullish. So you just have to determine what your strategy is. If you're taking breakouts, are you looking at reverses based off of bearish divergence, a reverse candle, bearish engulfing candle, right? Breaking back down, sell signal. But based off of higher time frames, I think it's going to be more like higher low, higher low, higher lows, wherever that is. And then as time goes on, higher lows, taking the stairs up. This is a high risk asset, but this is the daily chart. So if you look at it from a weekly standpoint, right, letting the trending dots catch up, right? So it could take a while, right? Let the trending dots catch up, retest them, and then make that next move out whenever that is, right? So that's what I'm personally uh anticipating for Teledoc. If you got higher low on the weekly chart, higher low, get another higher low over here. Who knows, right? Higher lows, taking the staircase up. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Rivian. Someone asked about Rivian. That's a weekly chart, pending sell, sell signal. This is old, but if it breaks out of here, right? If it breaks out of here, then is this based off the log chart? I don't know. Maybe that was probably from the log chart. So yeah. We'll just leave it there. If it's based off the log chart, could take a while, right? If it's gonna see a bigger breakout, no matter how the TA plays out, it'll coil and coil and coil, and then see if it breaks out and fills that gap. Could take a while, right? Could take a while. When it goes through a bottoming process, it could take a while, and it's pending a sell signal right now on the weekly chart, and it's back below the trailing dots. There's a sell signal, so we'll see. We'll see if it puts in another higher low, and then breaks out after that on Rivian. Not much else to really report. I'm just kind of going through this bottoming phase over here, and I've seen bottoming phases take more than a year, right? More than a year. So we'll see. What else? I know Sui, Telcoin. We'll circle back to the indices and stuff, but let's do the. We're already over an hour. No wonder I'm getting tired. No, we started at 9:15. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Where is Tell? Tell me where you are. Get it? Ooh, Jesse's on fire. So it's a weekly chart, but I'd be careful, right? Caution on these longer term targets, because some of the crypto is breaking down. A lot of the crypto is breaking down. It was getting overbought, and there is bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. So I'm not in a Tell position, but if I was, I would have been looking at this bearish divergence, and then possible lower high, and then there was an RSI sell signal on Friday, and could see a sell signal and a close below the trailing dots in the near future. So caution, right? Caution. That was a nice pump. So just have to know your own strategy. And the weekly chart also showing bearish divergence, not confirmed yet, but bearish divergence. No, there is no lower high yet, but price could be I don't know, 20-30% lower. It's already 8.7% down today. So the weekly charts take a while to play out, but it is picking up bearish divergence on the weekly chart. There's bearish divergence on the daily chart. There's an RSI sell signal on the daily chart on Friday. There could be a sell signal in the near future on Tell as well. So hopefully that helps in the shorter to midterm, right? Shorter to midterm. Sui. Okay. Do I have Sui on here? I don't know if I do. I've looked at it before, but I don't follow it on a regular basis. I've charted for other people. Not because I don't like it. it's just there's only so much I can keep track of. I do better with less is more. Less is more. What? I thought I just did that. Sui. Okay. Where are you? There you go. I'm like, what? I can't find it. Yeah, I prefer not to hold something that is no, is the bottom in. I don't know. But I prefer not to hold when there's a topping pattern, right? A topping pattern. So without even looking at the indicators, I would assume based off of all the other ones, there's bearish divergence, right? I'm going to assume it. We'll confirm it, but I'm going to assume that's bearish divergence. And then I'm going to assume that was the lower high after, and then another close below, another lower high, another lower low, and then maybe some will consider that a lower low until you take out this pivot point, and then you had a close below, taking out that pivot point, lower high, lower low. So it's putting in lower highs and lower lows, right? That's the daily chart. Look at it, it's bearish divergence, right? So bearish divergence on the daily chart, right? Yep. RSI sell signal back here, buy signal, but still bearish, right? If you look at the weekly chart in SUI, also bearish divergence here, right? That's bearish divergence. And it's possible this is a sneaky lower high, right? A sneaky lower. There's an RSI sell signal back here, end of January. So RSI sell signal, probably MACD bearish crossover. The week after the RSI sell signal, and now it's just having another regular sell signal. So, of course, the weekly chart is lagging, right? The weekly chart is lagging, but it did have bearish divergence. Multiple candle closes below the trending dots. Sucks that you're still holding because you're already from the top. It went down 55%. It's currently down 44%. And if it comes down lower, right? I mean, that would suck. That would suck to hold it. So, unfortunately, I don't like to be in that position. So that's why I swing trade. Everyone's different. Everyone's strategy is different. But this could be the bearish divergence followed by a sneaky lower high in the weekly chart. Daily chart's already been making lower highs and lower lows. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. What else? What did you say? BT. Let's see. BT. Oh, yeah, I already have it. It's already on here. Where is it though? Okay, there we go. Yeah, similar to the other, it just continues lower, right? Just continues lower. It's still bearish on the daily chart. It's already from this peak over here. I mean, as you know, 56%, right? 54%. The dip could keep dipping, right? Some of the Bitcoin miners have come all the way back here, come all the way back, right? I don't know if it's going to or not, but you've already held through 55%. So you just got to know what your plan of attack is, right? I don't know. That would suck to have to make that decision now because it could continue to go lower, but you're already 56% off. It's like that's brutal. I don't know. I wouldn't want to have to make that decision. Let's see the weekly chart. Oof. Weekly chart had a bearish MACD crossover. RSI sell signal. They're fast movers. So by the time the weekly chart rolls over, the big move has already happened. You got to stay in the lower time frames, and you've got overbought followed by a reverse candle, and then a lower high over here, right? And then it starts breaking down. That's your only chance with fast movers. Your only chance is to be on lower time frames, right? Oof, yeah. What else? Oh, HODL. Where you at? Where you at, HODL? It's down here. Bitcoin ETF. Kind of flat today, but this is why I pointed out the Bitcoin CME gap at 77,900 ish, right? I didn't zoom in close enough to find out what the exact number is. I don't care, but you have a gap at 77,900 that lines up very well with this HODL gap at $22. Lines up very nicely with the MicroStrategy gap that just was filled today. What was it at? Like two something? I don't know. Can't remember. We just looked at it. So do you think these gaps get filled? I mean, it's looking like a topping pattern, right? Most likely bearish divergence, followed by a lower high, and now it's just rolling over on this topping pattern. So, yep, you got it. You got it. Morning, Jesse. Replay crew tuning in. Awesome. Awesome, Mike. Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, so that's HODL. They all look the same too. BTCO, BUR, AKRB. They all look very similar. They all have this huge gap at right around this area. So it just seems like this is going to get filled, right? Not just because the CME gap at 77,900, because relatively speaking, it's only a 4% gap, which is kind of small. But when you got these bigger gaps on the ETFs, like remember when everyone was hyped up about the ETFs pushing price up before the halving? Well, it could also help it push the price down. So, it works both ways, right? It doesn't just work up, but you don't hear people talk about it. So, let's switch gears and we'll finish up the requests. Check the video. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do it by percent change. Meta breaking down, right? Overbought, probably divergence. MACD, RSI sell signal, right? Meta's breaking down. Never hit this longer term target. Just missed it. I wonder if the market boss wanted to take profit and front run my targets, right? That's not very nice. Happens a lot. Microsoft continues to break down. Bearish divergence, possible lower high, continues to break down. Weekly chart, also bearish divergence, fall by reverse candle, lower highs, right? Broke the neckline, right? Little shoulder, head, shoulder, breaking down. So if you're a patterns trader, I'm not, then probably look more something like this. And you'd probably, if you draw it based off of like candle closes, looks a little bit different, right? So depending on how you draw it out, seems like it's possible that if this head and shoulders plays out on Microsoft, price could come back and retest the 200-week moving average. And a lot of people would be surprised that price comes back below $360. It's a weekly chart, so I would expect it to take a long time to play out. Many thought it was crazy that we would see prices come back to the 200-week moving average over here when I was talking about it in 2021. Price came back. A lot of similarities. Price came back over here. A lot of similarities. We'll see if price comes back over here. When? We don't know. I don't know. It took from the peak to over here 49 weeks. So about a year, right? About a year. Where are we at now on Microsoft? From the peak to right now, we're at 33 weeks. So if we did 49 again, right? I don't know. 49 weeks, that would take us to June, right? So it would take time to play out. So maybe by June, right? Maybe by June, I don't know. Maybe Microsoft retest the 200-week moving average. Let's keep going. Amazon, uptrends breaking. Probably bearish divergence. Daily chart already broke this upper trend line. NASDAQ futures had a sell signal on Friday. I pointed that out. Now we have a MACD bearish crossover. Starting to roll over. NVIDIA, it's starting to look like a lower high in NVIDIA. So everything remains the same on my thoughts from previous live streams and chart posts. You had the rising wedge, breakdown, price hit target 4. Could be another lower high. If it takes out this pivot point over here, then we could start seeing some bigger gaps get filled. If the gap at $30 gets filled, that's an 18 to 20% gap. It's a massive gap. I'm out of water. That's not a good sign. NVIDIA could be putting in a lower high. Hit 4 out of 4 targets over here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This gap was filled. That gap was filled. So we'll see if price comes back down and starts closing below here, then see arrow down, right? If then. So we'll see what happens. And this 200-week moving average, I don't know, probably be somewhere over here, right? Probably trending up like that over time. And maybe it's June or July as well. Let's see, what's 49 weeks? Call it a year, right? Maybe it takes a year to play out. That would take forever. Yep. What else? Tesla almost hit target 4. Was starting to get oversold. I talked about it on Tuesday the 11th. It bounced back up into the trending dots and started to trend back down again. So the 4th target still has not been hit. You do have some gaps below. Look out below. There are gaps below. SP 500 had the sell signal on Friday as well. Dow Jones has sell signal on Thursday. Felt like it was kind of leading the way. Big, massive move down. Could kind of let the trending dots catch up and then continue down lower. This is based off the weekly chart, so we'll see what happens. Never hit this longer term target to the upside. The daily chart is looking like a double or a triple top, quadruple top, whatever. 4 wicks on the weekly chart. So top, 1 target so far. Then we'll see if it comes back down lower. If it comes back down the 4th target, then you're probably filling this gap and retesting the 200-week moving average. Very similar to 2022, right? So retest the 200-week over here. Could retest it again, but it takes some time to play out. Possible, if this is a top, this could be a possible lower high. And then, of course, you take out this pivot point over here. That would confirm the lower high. And by then, price is already down significantly. Google, similar. Expect bounces along the way. You got a gap down here that's not been completely filled yet. Apple was expecting a bounce down here. We got the bounce. The bounce is higher, right? The bounce is higher. So expecting a bounce. Now we'll see if there's going to be a lower high that's put in or not. So you've got a high. Now we'll see if a more established lower high gets put in, right? Got a tiny gap here. I don't know if it gets, maybe gets filled. Tiny gap there. Tiny. I mean, tiny. You wouldn't think that's like significant enough, but then if it breaks this neckline again, then expect lower prices from there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. ANF was getting oversold. We talked about it. Broke that neckline. Came down, hit 3 out of 4 longer term targets so far. Getting oversold, expecting bounces along the way. Let's keep going. Circle back. Where we at? on the chart requests. What I miss? Sui. Yep. 45. Oof. Yep. Briefly covered it. I don't think they do. I mean, short-term bounces, yes. Short-term bounces. I don't think they do. Unfortunately. I don't think they do long term. I could be wrong. Briefly covering Rivian, kind of running out of steam. Sui, covered that one. That's about it. Let's see if anything else catches my eye. What else? Dollar, still at target 2. Anything else? Total 3. What else? Coin. Ooh, rocket ship if it gets above there. Didn't get above there. It's getting overbought. Reverse candle, bearish divergence, I bet. Yeah, bearish divergence, right? You got bearish divergence over here. Bearish divergence, regular bearish divergence. Then you've got the lower high, additional lower highs. This lower high was confirmed with this lower low, in my personal opinion. So that's a lower low. Took out this pivot point over here, or here, right? And tiny gap filled. You got another gap over here on coin, right? Gaps are getting filled, right? Let's change this to yellow because it hasn't been filled yet. Trending that way. DeFi gaps. Just gaps. There we go. Gaps. 10-year yield. Took out this pivot point over here. So starting to see a direction lower. Ten-year yield. What else? Ouch. Arc's breaking back down. Arc had bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. No lower high yet. On Arc, but maybe in the near future. Lower high, comes back up, test the training dots, let the training dots kind of roll over, right? Battle, and then comes back down, right? So we'll see on Arc. What else? What else? Trump coin, $14.87. All the way down from 70. Baba, down 10% today. Well, it pumps hard and it dumps hard, right? So higher time frames are still bullish, but it doesn't mean it wasn't extended away, right? Even when it pumps hard here, it dumps hard here, pumps hard here, dumps hard here, right? So probably, in my opinion, it's Baba has switched to the buy the dip scenario, but you don't want to be buying the dip here, in my opinion. You don't want to be buying the dip here. You want to be waiting for a proper, nice, big pullback, right? Assuming you get one, right? 32%, right? 32%. If it pulls back 32%, right? You can kind of see eyeball test 32%. That's just what happens when you stare at charts way too long. You can just eyeball it. But yeah, let the trending dots catch up and then continue higher. So it was getting overbought sometimes when the magic happens, but expect pullbacks along the way. So higher time frames remain bullish, in my opinion. It's buy the dip season, but look how far extended away it starts to get from the trending dots on the monthly chart, and eventually it comes back to retest it to catch up, right? So if the trending dots on the monthly chart take some time, right? Take some time to hit some targets, right? So in the meantime, something like that. So we'll see. Alibaba overbought on the daily chart. Overbought on the daily chart. Pending reverse candle. Probably going to come back lower for the next buy the dip opportunity. Never guarantee that the dips is buy the dip season until it's not. But the higher time frames have started to flip bullish, and like the monthly chart, the weekly chart's already been bullish. 2-week chart's already been bullish. Panwa, Palo Alto, right? Is that it? Maybe. I know I didn't really cover it, but similar thoughts to Baba, where the higher time frames are starting to flip bullish, but on the daily chart, there was like bearish divergence, I think, and expect pullbacks along the way. So yeah, it's very, very similar thoughts to Baba. I think it becomes buy the dip season. So you just got to know what your strategy is. If it's buy the dip season, will it eventually retest the 200-week moving average? But in the shorter term, expect pullbacks along the way. There was bullish divergence followed by a reverse candle and a bearish engulfing candle. I think I did I don't know. Maybe I didn't cover it. But you got, I think I covered it on the last live stream. So you got bearish divergence followed by a reverse candle. So expecting pullbacks along the way. Oh, no, I did talk about it. Oh my gosh. I think I did talk about it. Right? Or maybe I talked about it on the last. I don't know. I can't remember. You got it. You got it. Sweet. With that, I think that's about it. 94,400 Bitcoin. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? Especially in this bull trap where price is going to go to the moon and the $125,000 watch parties were going on, right? Woo-wee. There we go. We'll see. Not confirmed yet. Start getting candle close back below here. And then the probabilities will increase even more that we're going to go hit target 2, then target 3, then possibly target 4. And we'll see after that. So taking it level by level, see how it goes. We don't have a magic crystal ball. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. I got to get to work and start working on my checklist, my list over here, and get rocking and rolling for the day. With that, have a good rest of your day, and we will see you on the next live stream. You got it, Mike. You got it. Adios.